How many times have you just thought, that's it, I've had enough, I'm just gonna quit? To be honest with you, I nearly never made this video this week. I'm sitting here in my office, looking at the YouTube algorithm and the dashboard and thinking to myself, 78 subscribers, that's all I've managed to achieve so far since I've started this channel. And I thought, probably what a lot of you would be thinking as well, why do I bother? You know, should I be doing this? Is it worth my while? In policing, as in all other emergency services, and to be fair, in all other walks of life, you can't just quit when you want to. You can't just down tools and say, oh, I'm feeling a bit tired or I'm feeling a bit frustrated. But in this new life for me, in this retired life, I can. And that's really weird. It's a little bit scary, to be honest, that I can do that. I could just make that decision to turn off the camera and walk away, or limp away in my case. So why haven't I done that? Why aren't I turning off this camera? Why aren't I limping away? So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through my reasons. I'm going to show you how I've managed to keep my motivation, and I'll be using the light method that I've previously spoke about on other videos. I want to show you how it works in a practical way, how it's managed to get me out of this slump, out of this little bit of frustration, and get me moving again and get me creating again. It works for me when things get tough, and I have to say it's pretty applicable in most situations where you feel like you're about to hit that wall. For those of you new to the channel, I'm Noel and this is Blue Balance UK, where I look at mental health, resilience, life after service, and all other little bits that affect us in our daily lives. Working hard on this channel, it feels to me sometimes like I've hit a little bit of a plateau, and that can feel like a little bit of failure. Now I know internally that's not a failure, but that's how you can feel, and as we know, we can't always help how we feel. So what do? I have to give myself that metaphorical kick up the arse just to get things going again. And how do I do that? I'm going to use the light protocol. So if you're feeling stuck today, whether it be your life in general, whether it be your career, whether it's a project you have to do, this is the light protocol and this is how you can use it. So the first step is labelling. If you name it, you can tame it. It's funny, a lot of times we try to catastrophize everything in our lives. So for me, I'm getting low numbers. Oh, it's a disaster, I'm failing, it's terrible. So I labelled it. Am I feeling demoralised just because of growth? Is all the planning and preparation, filming, editing, it's hard work. Is it worth my time? By asking this, by labelling it, it's specific. It's not just generic like, oh, it's really bad. Oh, I just can't be asked. I've put a specific on there, a specific question. I've labelled it. And then once you've labelled, you listen, don't you? You listen to those questions that you've asked yourself. Listen to the answers you're giving yourself. Is it telling me that I'm bad at this? Or is it telling me that it's something else? It was saying to me that your ego wants that little bit of massaging, that little bit of applause. And that's not really reasoning, that's just noise in the background. That's those little thoughts in your head, those intrusive voices. So when labelling and listening, it's crucial that you understand whether it's a gut feeling or whether there is something behind it, some empirical data, some knowledge behind there. So then you can work out whether it's just noise in the background. Is it your gut instinct telling you of danger, or is it just your ego wanting that massage like mine did? So the next step is you investigate or you interrupt. So you need really to put on your, copper hat, as we used to say, so you can investigate what are the main issues around this one. I had to investigate where these feelings were coming from. There I was, sitting there, looking at my dashboard, looking at the statistics, and realising that I'm measuring myself against a channel that may have been going a lot longer than me. It might have been going 10 years and mine's only been going less than years. And I'm trying to measure my success against theirs. I'm effectively trying to measure my chapter 1 against their chapter 20. It's like trying to compare apples to oranges. They just don't compare. Of course the other channels have got a slicker production, better equipment, You know, they've been doing it a long time and they've got a massive back catalogue, which would, you know, indicate why they are getting better numbers and more people. They've been around longer. But as we know, you know, putting hard facts in front of yourself sometimes doesn't always work, because it's an emotional decision, isn't it? You feel things sometimes and your perception's not always rooted in reality. And that's where you need to interrupt yourself. And that's where I needed to interrupt myself. The interruption is so pivotal. It's so important to stop you from doing what you're doing. So imagine there's people out on the street, they're having an argument, they're about to have a fight. As a police officer years ago, I just couldn't walk away from them. I had to go in and stop them. I had to go and physically do something. And that's what an interrupt is. It's stopping what you're doing, interrupting your thoughts and feelings, and then putting something in play so you can move forward. It's a bit of a circuit breaker. And for me, it was a really simple circuit breaker to do. Just get up and start filming. Get up and do, as opposed to thinking about it. Physical movement breaks that emotional momentum. So now let's move on to the G. For me, that was the biggest one. So I needed to gauge how I was doing. Are my videos bad? Am I getting bad comments? Are people leaving in their droves? The answer to all of them was no. So that gave me the grounding that I needed. So that grounding for me was looking again at that number 78. 78 people subscribe to my small channel. 78 people are happy to go online and listen to me talk. If I had 78 people in my house, you know, waiting for me to talk, yeah, it'd be packed. And yeah, I'd be very, very nervous. But I need to ground myself in the fact that these people, you there, are giving me your time, the most important thing that we have. You're listening to what I have to say, and that's appreciated so much. I also realised that I had over 40,000 views since the life of this channel, which only started a few months ago, really. And I put that into perspective, you know, and in reality, a little bit of mathematics, even if only 0.1% of those people got anything from these videos, that's still over 40 people that I've managed to help in some very small way. That's not insignificant. I can tell you now that 40 people is larger than some of the teams I used to run when I was in policing. And if I could have helped my entire team with something, I would have been over the moon. And that grounding's allowed me to put that back into perspective. And again, I'm so grateful for being here, and I'm so grateful that you all are taking time out of your day to listen to me. And that's where the growth comes in, isn't it? So if I decided to quit, what am I telling myself? I'm telling myself it's easy to quit when things get a little bit difficult, when they're not going my way. Now, there's no way I would have quit when I was in the police. I just doubled down. I carried on doing what I wanted to do to achieve my goals. And this is what I need to do here. So by that growing, I don't allow myself that negative mindset to say, no, this is not working. Because if I quit now that I've retired, you know, it'll make it easier for me to quit next time. And I don't like to quit. So the H stands for hunt, it stands for humanise, and it stands most importantly for humour. So first, I needed to hunt for the good stuff, shall we say. What is it that is positive about my channel? And it's you, it's all of you out there. It's the comments that were given. And I found one particularly nice comment, and it said, and I have written it down, it said, "Thank you so much for putting this out, Noel. It come exactly the right moment for me." That's it right there, isn't it? That's the gold dust. That's what we're looking for. That's the massage of the ego. I realised that I still have a responsibility. I have a responsibility for all those of you who are watching. I have a responsibility to try and uplift where I can. And I can't just quit just because I'm feeling a little bit demotivated or demoralised because my ego's not getting the numbers that I wanted to get. And then obviously I've got to use the humour in it. As you know, I'm a 56-year-old man sitting here looking at a computer screen and getting wound up or getting annoyed or getting upset over a number. you know, over an algorithm. Oh, why isn't it working for me? You know how ridiculous that sounds. I used to do things which were, you know, I would make decisions and actions and whatever that would affect people's lives. It could be life and death in many, many situations. And here's me worrying about an algorithm. It's ridiculous, really. And it's just remembering that what I've got to give is for others, to try and uplift others, and I can't look at myself. And that's where the humanisation comes in. Remembering that all you out there, you've all got lives, you've all got things to do, and you're giving me that time, which is so appreciated. And hey, you got to remember as well, there are loads of YouTube gurus out there who tell me, you know, because they're obviously just speaking to me in my house, telling me your next video may go viral and your numbers may explode. You know, you may grow exponentially, a bit like my gut. As the lottery says, you got to be in it to win it. So that brings us to the last point, doesn't it, of the light, T. It's about you taking control, taking action, you know, your turning circle. I have to remember that, you know, building this channel, this life after retirement, is like almost steering a ship in the water. You know, you're not going to be able to do a handbrake turn and do an immediate turn. It's gradual movements. It's that small shift of the rudder that's going to take you the direction you want to go. Taking control. I can't take control of the algorithm. That's out there. I can only take action to try and make the best videos with the best content, trying to engage with the best amount of people in the best possible way that I can. That's the action I can take, and that's the action I am taking. It's just getting up, putting my face on camera, because you know this is a lovely face, but it's about getting out there and doing it, putting yourself out there. And there's a secret that I've known throughout my career, throughout my, you know, my life, is action actually defeats anxiety. If you're scared about something or you're feeling anxious about something, if you sit there and worry about it, it gets worse. But you take an action, it actually gets better, that anxiety goes down. So again, if I want this channel to grow, I can't just sit on my arse, can I? And hope that you look at my videos. I've got to take action and try and put them out there. At the start of this process, I didn't feel like making the video. I didn't feel like writing the script, you know, getting my ideas down and getting them across to you. But that action that I did built that motivation to get me to do this. So that's the important part. Remember that your actions can build your motivations. You know, motivations don't always go the other way around and build your actions. So in answer to that all-important question, I asked myself, am I going to quit? The answer is simply no. I'm not quitting. I'm just going to follow the light, and I'm only just really getting started. I'll continue making these videos, and I'll continue thanking you for that all-important time that you're giving me. So if you're sitting there at this moment in time thinking about quitting, have a second thought. Run through the light protocol first. Don't just quit on a whim. Don't make a permanent decision on a temporary emotion. If this has helped in any way, please help me get to subscriber number 79. That would be great, wouldn't it? Join me at Blue Balance Community. And remember, please stay safe, God bless everyone, and stay balanced. Have a great day. Bye-bye.